Pac-12 league event. A Thursday night matchup at and inside Maples Pavilion in Stanford, California. The tip-off between these Pac-12 foes scheduled for 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. real time, Vegas time. The Ducks travel to Stanford as small road favorites, 1.5, 2 points, with the game total being about 149.5, depending on your shop or your store. Oregon 17-8 straight up, 13-12 against the number, 15 overs to 10 unders this season. They beat Oregon State on Saturday night 60-58 in a closely contested, low-scoring event. The Ducks have struggled a little bit offensively recently, last two games in particular, but tonight's that perfect setup, that opportunity to break out of that funk to a degree. The Cardinals 9-4 straight up, 8-5 against the spread at home, 7-8 in Pac-12 play against the number. This is the first meeting between the Ducks and the Cards this season. Stanford leads the all-time series 83-58. That began somewhere, I think it was 49-50, the 49-50 season. Oregon isn't the same tough-minded, defense-heavy outfit they've been over the last half-decade. Ken Palm ranks Oregon 61st in the country out of 362 Division I programs. And they check in ranking 54th in offensive efficiency, 86th in defensive efficiency, this being Oregon. And they operate a middling 176th ranked game tempo, pretty much an average tempo, not a tremendous amount or over an abundance of offensive or transition possessions. Half-court set offense and defense for Oregon. The Card, they have lost 4 out of the last 5 games. Ken Palm has a Stanford team positioned as the 93rd ranked program in Division I, 85th in offense, 112th in defensive efficiency. The Cardinals operate a bit quicker tempo-wise. They're 68th, I think it was. I'm sorry, it left me for something. They're 68th, though, out of 362 Division I programs in relationship to game night tempo. The Ducks, they ride a semi-wave of momentum into tonight's game, into tonight's matchup, should I say, with a win over Oregon State, in-state rival Oregon State on Saturday. Oregon's offense, as I mentioned, has been misled and misrepresented by some of the players that should be playing differently, better, more efficiently in their last 2 games. As a whole, they've scored just 116 total points in their last 2 games. Now, the Ducks get well tonight. They do. They get well, and they earn a second straight victory, and they do so by moving the ball side to side and earning uncontested and unguarded looks from the 3-line, from the perimeter, even elbow jumpers in mid-range. Stanford's one of the less than's. They are one of the top less than's in Division I, ranking 272nd in 3-point percentage allowed. The Cards are as soft in the paint, at the rim, as they are on the outside. They step up and they play this one. They'll play a terrific defensive outing, and they'll be spot on with their 3-point shots from perimeter and look like a team that should be playing in the top half of the conference. As many times they're good, they're bad. +1. The Ducks front court, Felix Dante is in line for a big game against a much smaller front court of the Cardinals. Dante scored 22 versus the Oregon State, the Beavers, and should rinse and repeat that performance tonight in Stanford, California. Oregon and Stanford, as a team has been this season, Stanford has been the bad more times than good. Oregon, a growing team, a learning team, a younger team that continues to progress in the coaching staff system. Stanford turns the ball over too many times, and they don't turn over their opponents. They are not good enough to give away possessions or have less possessions than their opponent on game night and still win. Oregon, they continue to grow, as I mentioned, as the season winds down. They are much more cohesive than they were before Christmas, before the holidays. And with each passing game, they become a better passing team. allowing them to get more open perimeter looks, unguarded, uncontested. They do a great job of moving the ball side to side. Oregon takes the reins tonight. They're effective, they're efficient, and they perform a winning combination of technically sound defense with a creative brand of offense that pushes the Ducks back into the bubble conversation. I'm Tony Finn. I'm so glad you dropped by. Remember, Oregon Ducks minus a small number tonight in Stanford. Stop back by tomorrow, and we'll talk about how right I was about this game, too.